You know, 10 convertibles.
Sounds pretty good.
I know, but it's this. You're putting the money back into this operation, and you can see it. Even though sometimes we got a little split screen going on, but
well, no, I mean, quite frankly, if I want, since we're on the subject, if I wanted to make more money, I would have a radio show and a news blog that I push everybody to. Look at this picture on my website. Look at this article I linked to, just to send all my audience there. I'd have 3 people here, like Rush Limbaugh. And see, Rush Limbaugh has a jet and a 20-bedroom house, which is great. It's his money. I have this. See, I've spent 70, we were doing the math, in the last 15 years alone, been on there 20 years, but the first 5, it was just me. I've spent $70 million on running the operation, promoting it, doing all this. $70 million.
Oh, but you could have sold your soul to the globalists.
Well, but it's a testament to free market, what's left of it.
Hey, Alex, that's still not as much as our public servants have spent on their micro purchases to the tune of $20 billion.
In the last year, the feds,
1 year,
on their micro purchases that don't count, $20 billion. They can go buy like $3,000 televisions on taxpayer money. Well, I mean, to be clear, that's each.
They're structuring their purchases, you know, that's exactly what they're accusing these small businesses of doing, is structuring their deposits and then going in and confiscating their bank accounts. And yet these guys are structuring their purchases. That's exactly what they're doing.
Right. Or even
it's just like the IRS scandals, you know, where the IRS says, we lost all of our records. We don't have that anymore. They will rake you over the coals and not take an excuse if you have a hard disk crash. If you really did lose your data, they're not going to take that as an excuse. But they wind up doing exactly the same thing.
It's organized crime, and they all kind of stick together to keep the thing rolling. Okay, I don't care about the dancing ants, Rob,
well, we've actually defeated them. But
okay, great.
I do have an update. We've got the guys calling in from Skype, Biggs and Company, with Josh and Roderick, and they were just searched by the cops, of course, because probably they're terrorists. They got camera bags. Anyway, they're going to give us a quick update here.
That they're INFOWARS.com reporters. I love how when we're at Ferguson, there's looters throwing Molotovs. The cops don't care. Look, it's a reporter. Shoot Jakari. Shoot Biggs. Shoot Al Jazeera. And we're just like, okay, we were reporting that the cops are probably in the right here. These are looters, but you're attacking us, so now you're in the wrong. We just go with the truth. We just go with the truth. And so if you're ready with Joe Biggs and others, are you ready for us to go to them?
Yeah, you know what? We're ready. It's going to have a technical. More dancing ants have appeared, but we like them.
You know, I want to do this, Rob. I want to go to the Second Amendment piece first that we're titling here, Freedom Grows Out of the Barrel of a Gun.
Yeah.
And so we're going to air this little 10-minute piece of just us having some fun out at my buddy's ranch. You know, there's the Steiner Ranch. That's the big housing development on the lake. But then there's the real Steiner Ranch, 12,000 acres in Bastrop. So this is the real family ranch out there. And we go out there shooting. And we've done this show 6, 7 times. They're very popular. One of them's got like 1 million views. But this is just us out having fun. And this was a real test, though, of taking Leanne out, who's only shot with Cargill a shotgun once over at Chittle, Texas Gun Works, and it kind of blew you away because that's Joe Biden's advice, to shoot a 12 gauge.
Than the assault rifle.
We'll see what happens with a 12 gauge versus a 223. I'm shooting a 308 Reaper. We didn't get the 50 cals out this day, but I had this idea to put bowling pins. Weldon had just got them at a thrift shop or something. I think we should shoot some bowling pins. I saw these in my neighborhood for sale. I said, yeah, let's put it on top the tannerite. But we also shoot with tracers. You can't see them during the day. Some little Gatorade bottles of gasoline inside a fake coyote. This is not a real coyote, folks. And I'm going to get PETA after us here. So are we ready with that report, guys?
We can do the report, or we have Biggs ready to go.
Yeah, you know what? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the Second Amendment report, because we said we're going to that.
Oh,
yes.
Look
Too
at
bad, Biggs.
Oh, well, let's go to him right now. I love live TV.
Nice reaction there, Biggs. He's like, it's raining.
No, I was looking up. It's raining right now.
Oh, that's why it looks like he's turned into a vampire.
That's why they want to go.
All right. Hey, Joe. Joe, we're going to come back to you after this piece here. I know you saw and thought it was pretty funny because you notice I've got commando level shooting, right? No, seriously. I'm the guy that jumped out of an armored vehicle and stabbed the Taliban on the neck. Hey, Joe Biggs, tell us where you are and what's happened.
We're at the Moody Theater right now in downtown Austin, Texas. We're going to go into the Greg Abbott election party tonight. We're expecting to see people like Governor Rick Perry, Ted Cruz, and also Jeb Bush as well. So we're going to try to go in there, mingle through the crowd, and get some real questions to these politicians who are going to be running our country here after these midterm elections.
Well, Joe, I heard you got searched earlier.
Yeah, they have a bomb squad in there right now running through the entire facility. The police are going through. They've got the drug dogs out. They are searching media very thoroughly thus far.
Well, I mean, Joe, let's be honest. It's like when you had your leg partially blown off and they searched you coming into the U.S. We've got to watch veterans particularly.
Yeah, you know, we're terrorists apparently.
What is your take on 2014? How big of a realignment is this? Do you have any faith things are going to change? I mean, what's your biggest takeaway so far watching what's happening?
Well, the scary thing is what Chuck Hagel was saying, that Americans need to prepare for endless war. And we know that with the Republicans coming in, there are a lot of war, bloodthirsty, people. And we know after these midterm elections, there's not a good chance that President Obama is going to get impeached or anything like that whatsoever. So he has this free reign to just sign all these executive orders and really change the course of our way of life here in America.
Leanne, is he not a handsome devil?
Just a handsome devil.
All right, and listen, this is teleprompter-free news, and we are 1 hour 6 minutes in. Joe, I want to come back to you in a moment. Okay, in fact, let's do it now. What time do we expect to see the lordships show up? After it's pretty clear who's won, 9, 10, 11 o'clock tonight?
Well, they're supposed to start letting people in around right before 8 o'clock. And then at that time, that's the regular crowd. The media is going to be allowed to come in a minute and set up. But yeah, usually the big wigs aren't going to show up, I would say, until about 10, once people start to get a bit toasty.
All right, well, we have interviewed Cruz. We've interviewed most of the people that are going to be there. So their little handlers try to get in your way. I know you'll take over like you always do, like you're charging an Afghan machine gun nest. So just get in there, ask your questions. In fact, give us a little preview with real journalism. What are some of the questions you're going to be asking, say, Jeb Bush?
Well, I'd like to know if they're going to basically turn this into a, like you said, a kingship, and just rotate between the Bushes and the Clintons over the next, the rest of our lives, basically. Just bring in little Jeb Bush one day, and then bring in Hillary one day. We'll just rotate back and forth throughout that time.
Yeah, it'll be Jeb Bush's kid, and then it'll be Chelsea, and then it'll be Chelsea's kid, like North Korea.
Yeah. I want to ask a lot of the people, too, about, NSA spying. What are they going to do about immigration? Why are we paying for these illegals to be bused to all these different parts across the U.S.? Why are we allowing them to fly without ID? Meanwhile, when we go to an airport, we have to be ID'd, we have to be patted down and groped by TSA agents. So I want to find out what their take is on that as well, what they plan to do about minimum wage. They really want to raise it up, because that's really going to hurt our economy. So I want to find out a lot of these big issues that people aren't asking about, and the militarization of police, what they think about that as well.
I would ask Rick Perry, what his view is on impeachment as well of Obama, because here's the deal. You don't want to just score political points with Obama being so out of control, because they still get their agenda through. And then he takes the blame. Well, the globalists don't care. They still get what they want. We have to repudiate this system, not just with a race and a political referendum. We've got to repudiate it by some people getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. Leanne, your take, David Knight, and then we'll get Joe Biggs' take.
Well, that's exactly it. We see them really pushing away with the whole immigration, because they know that Obama's just going to whip out his pen and his phone and just pass sweeping amnesty. Then if that, if there's issues with that, they can just blame Obama. But I mean, I believe that you talked about this in.
I believe you got makeup in my eyes earlier.
I apologize.
She's always telling me I got to wear makeup, and I do look a little bit better. But man, it gets in your eyes. How do women handle this?
You know what? Beauty is pain. Beauty is pain.
Well, that's not beauty, right there.
Have longer eyelashes.
Buck up, soldier. But yeah, so they're going to just go ahead and blame Obama and say, oh, well, he did it. But we know that he's just a puppet. He was put in that position. They said, this is the man the country needs right now. He'll be able to convince everyone to just give up all their rights. And they'll think that it's so great because he's their savior. And that
it's being waterboarded.
Then it turns out that's not the case. Yeah.
I am the comic relief for the transmission. Everybody realizes this is teleprompter free. David Knight?
Alex, it was just about a week or two ago that we had the FBI director outraged that they would give people, that they would give the ability to people with Google phones, with Android phones, that they would not allow the FBI to be able to get into those phones. What's this about? They're out. The FBI said that he was outraged that people would not, that they would not be able to get into people's phones. And so he said, this is kind of like having a trunk that even if we've got a search warrant, we can't get into. Well, the problem is that the FBI is not going after the criminals who are going into our trunks and taking stuff out of our phones, stealing our private messages, are getting into our private business, breaking the law. The FBI is not interested about prosecuting those people. So until the FBI wants to prosecute the obvious crimes that are being done by the people at the very top.
Well, yeah, there's the FBI saying,
don't talk to us about getting into our phones.
Right.
And how he should be able to, that should never exist. They should, if they've got a search warrant, they should be able to get into anybody's property at any time that they want.
Right.
It's outrageous without warrants.
Yeah.
In fact, the head of the FBI is saying Google's acting above the law doing that. We need to be able to act above the law, break in your phone, violate your rights. This is a governmental corporate revolution against basic freedoms.
Yeah.
Well, you have the IRS, too, seizing money and then saying, oh, yes, we do that, but we won't do it anymore. But you have the Attorney General who refuses to prosecute them for the things that they're doing.
He loves
the Attorney General, you got the FBI, they're not prosecuting the IRS who's breaking the law. They're not prosecuting the NSA that's breaking the law. And yet they say, how dare Google and Apple offer you a phone that we can't get into?
Well, David, how long is this going to go on? I mean, the corruption just mounts and mounts. Let's go back to...
Actually, we just let them go. We're ready to go that gun break.
Okay, we just
told
lost
them
their
to wait
feed?
10 minutes.
Okay, good. Are you on air, dude, when you're talking?
Yes, I was on air.
Okay, good. I don't want to sound like I'm talking to myself. Because we're up here working out the bugs and doing these live transmissions.
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Open the pod bay doors, Dave.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't do that.
All right. Coming up after this piece, we've got GMO labeling, and we're going to get Anthony Gucciardi and other folks in here. But first, we've got the O'Keefe interview.
Yep.
James O'Keefe that was done by Jakari Jackson and a lot more. So we're going to air this gun piece that's entertaining but also fun, makes a lot of great points. You get to see Leanne McAdoo becoming absolutely gun crazed. It's beautiful to see the conversion. Then we will go to Jakari Jackson's piece with the Project Veritas guy that's been showing the incredible election fraud. Then we're going to bring in and give you guys a break McBreen, Anthony Gucciardi, and others. Then we're going to talk to folks breaking down what's happening with election fraud. Then we'll go back to Biggs reporting several times tonight. It's all coming up. It's the major political realignment. A referendum against progressivism that's just tyranny, renamed progressivism, like progressive brain cancer. And I'm your host, Alex Jones. This is InfoWars Nightly News, expanded coverage. We're going till midnight Central Time. Then I'll be back live tomorrow, 11 a.m., 2 p.m. Central, with the syndicated radio transmission. Here is the piece that I think I've dubbed. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow, so you can spread it virally, InfoWarriors. Freedom grows out of the barrel of a gun.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it.
Part of every day, some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message.
But I also believe that a lot of gun owners would agree that AK-47s belong in the hands of soldiers, not in the hands of criminals.
We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
It's always been about libertarians, conservatives, constitutionalists, gun owners, returning veterans in the training manuals. You're the target of the mafia because you are a real American. You know about the Bill of Rights and Constitution. Low taxes, states' rights. You are diametrically opposed. So you either roll over to the mafia and let them rob you, or you're going to be listed as a terrorist. I got a better idea. We're going to expose you as the mafia. We're going to expose you as a bunch of crooks trying to steal our liberties.
All right, on your mark, get set.
my God! Ah! I got 3, baby.